What's going on, everybody? Jason here. It is Sunday afternoon, lazy day, and I finally got around to making a video I've been wanting to do for a long time, how I do water changes on my tank. So what I use is the Aqueon Water Changer. I believe this is pretty much identical to the Python. I believe the Python is something different. It's kind of the same thing that you hook up to the sink. Sorry about that. This is the 50-footer, the one that I bought. This is a picture of one at Walmart. I chose this picture because this was the exact packaging I got. But I got this at PetSmart. It's about 50 bucks for the 50-footer. This is the one I have. I don't have it in the package anymore, obviously, because I've been using it. But I use it a little bit differently, and I'll show you exactly what I do. But if anyone's interested in this, this is the Aqueon Water Changer. They have a 25 and a 50-footer. You know, just depends on the length that you need. Okay guys, here's the Aqueon Water Changer, the 50-footer. You got your 50-foot hose, you got your little faucet attachment. This screws onto your faucet. You got your gravel vac, also at the same time puts water back into the tank, and you got all your little different attachments for hooking it up to your sink. This is the main one I use that actually hooks up to your sink. I will show you all these attachments later on. Now there's one main thing I do differently here, and I use my own sand vac system. If you watch one of my videos a long time ago, I had a video on taping a piece of plastic onto one of these gravel vac siphon tubes, and you can use that to sift the sand around and suck up all the debris. And the reason I use this, these also have that little flap valve in there, which, if you can see. The reason I like that is because you go back and forth with this and it actually starts the water siphon in the tank. Now, what this you're supposed to do is you're supposed to screw this onto the sink, run your hose to your tank with this, and then turn on your faucet. Now the water coming out of your faucet straight down here sucks the water from your tank and creates an instant siphon effect. The reason I don't like doing that is because you are just flat out wasting water. I mean, you're just using the water from your sink to suck the water out of your tank, and it's just wasting water. So what I do is I hook this up to the hose, and I run the hose right out my back door and just start a siphon, and the water goes right out the back door, no mess, no fuss. So let's get started. I'll show you guys how I do this. You can do this the way they say it, or, you know, come up with your own way. So Aqueon Water Changer system, I'm going to show you exactly how I do this, so let's get started. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, kind of push my light back here, take my tops off. My fish are not going to like this, they never do. Okay, next I'm actually going to remove all my decorations. Some people don't do this, some people don't like doing it. I do it every time I do a water change because it's the most efficient way to completely gravel vac and get all the fish waste out of your tank. You don't have to do it, depends how dirty your tank is. My tank's not even that dirty, but I do it anyway. Okay, now that I've got all the decorations out, I'm going to scrub the inside of the glass to get any type of algae off. I'm using a little blue scrubby. Make sure it's for glass. You don't want something too abrasive that's going to scratch it. When you're scrubbing the inside of your glass, if you got sand, when you're scrubbing the glass up and down or side to side or whatever, don't get all the way down to the sand and scrub it with the scrubby. If you get sand between the scrubby and the glass and scrub, you're going to scratch your glass up really bad. So I scrub up and down like this, and I get down just about to the bottom, and then once I'm done, I'll go down with my finger and scrub off the algae between the glass and the sand. But if you start scrubbing all the way down there with the sand with a scrubber, you're going to scratch up your glass. So just keep that. I already did it a couple times and learned the hard way, so just letting you guys know that. Okay, so glass is clean, decorations out. Now we're gonna gravel vac this. Okay guys, ready to start sandbagging. As you can see, I've got my hose connected to the siphon tube that has the stick tape to it, and I got my hose going all the way out the back door. So all the water that I'm going to be siphoning out is just going straight outside, under the fence, out to the back alleyway. So this is the one I showed you that has the piece of plastic tape to it, and that's going to help me sift through the sand. And this has that little valve in there. So what you're going to do is just go like this, and you're going to start the siphon. And there you go. So here's my gravel vac that I use. That's the little Aqueon siphon tube. I've got the piece of plastic taped onto it. And as of right now, I'm just letting it sit, and I'm going to drain out 50% of the water. I got a little DeWalt clamp I bought from Home Depot that just holds it there, so I don't have to worry about it. Inside, my two filters and my heaters are all plugged into the same power strip, so I just turn it off, and it shuts everything off, which is real convenient. My fish are pissed off right now. Oh well. So now, and I'll show you, this is just draining. We can follow the tube outside. And it's just draining out under the fence. Okay, now what I'm going to do, this is probably going to take 5 or 10 minutes to drain this down to about 50%. In the meantime, while this is draining, since I cleaned the glass, sandbagged, I'm actually going to put all the decorations back in right now so they have some place to hide and just feel safe and calm down a little bit. Okay, I got half my water drained, about 50%, and then I went ahead and I connected the tube that comes with the Aqueon Water Changer system to the hose. I got my DeWalt clamp holding it here. You got this little attachment right here that you're going to want to put on the hose first, and then stick the hose onto here, and then screw this on. You also have a little valve here, make sure this is on. And I have that just resting on my decoration right there for the water flow. Okay, I got my tube going back all the way to my kitchen. Okay, so now what you're going to do is take your little faucet attachment. You got to unscrew the head on your faucet, unless your existing one already has threads. You're going to screw this on. Sometimes it's a little difficult. You got to make sure you don't strip it. There we go. Screw that on. Then you're going to take your whole attachment, screw that on, and then I always test it. Okay, I want to make sure it goes up. Now I got to run this to get the desired temperature. I'm going to use my laser thermometer to get exactly 80 degrees, which is the temperature of my tank. And the way I measure it, I just kind of hold it in my hand. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll just shine the laser. Right now it's at 72. So I just got to run this for about a few minutes till the water heats up. Alright, my water's at 80 degrees. And then what you're going to do, you're going to put on this big attachment, put on the little attachment, stick the hose on here, start screwing that on, flip that, boom. Now your water's going to your tank. And I always put the water return on some type of decoration so it doesn't spew all over the sand and knock it everywhere. So, what I do periodically is I'll use my laser thermometer and I will take the return tube right there and let some water cup in my hand just like I did from the sink, and shine this on it to make sure that the water coming in is continuously at 80 degrees, and adjust the faucet as needed. Okay, once the water level gets to about this point, you can see the vents in my filter right here, just past it. So what I'm going to do is hit my power strip down here, turn on the filters and the heaters, and then the filters are going to start turning on, siphoning the water again, and I'll just get filtering again before the tank's even completely full. There goes one, there goes the other one. And they're running again. So just gotta wait a little bit longer till the water fills up all the way. Also, this is the point in when I see if my filters need to be maintained. These two slots right here are overflow slots. If water comes pouring out of there, you know your filters are clogged pretty well. And I would take out and replace the filter floss. But as you can see on both of these, those little slots, nothing's overflowing, so I leave the filters alone. Okay, once you're done using the water, just disconnect everything from your sink. I put all the attachments in a Ziploc bag. Leave it open so it dries. You don't want it to stay wet and get moldy. And I'll just put all this underneath my tank stand. And at this point is when I'll add in my bacteria supplement. I use Top Fin bacteria supplement. And I also switch on and off between Prime for water conditioner. This is Prime Secum Prime, sorry. And API Stress Coat. My fish seem to be stressed out a lot lately since I took out the convict and firemouth. So I've been putting this in. I'm going to add some more of this. This is also water conditioner. It removes chlorine, chloramines, and detoxifies heavy metals. So I'm going to add some bacteria supplement and the stress coat. Okay, the way that I add this, honestly, I don't really measure this at all. You don't need to put too much of this. I will just pour this into the current of the filter. Just a little bit of bacteria. And then just a little bit of the stress coat. It actually says you can put a lot in here, but I don't put too much. That's it. And I just pour that into the current of the filters, and that will circulate itself. You can't exactly treat the water before you put it back in the tank because it's coming straight from the faucet. If you were using coolers or something with the water, you could do that. You could add all this into the cooler to the water, but since it's coming straight from the sink, I just add it into the tank once it's completely done. Okay guys, that's the water change. Once you're done, you know, just put your tops back on, adjust your light, your decor as needed, clean your glass, whatever, clean up. So that's how I do water changes. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it helped you out. Water changes are definitely a very, very important part of the fish keeping hobby. You definitely want to do weekly water changes with cichlids and this tank. And I got some big guys in here that are going to get big. I do a 50% water change every week. Add the water conditioner, bacteria supplement. This is really vital to the health of the fish and their growth. So if the colors on your fish aren't all that great and they don't seem to be growing that big, maybe you're not doing enough water changes, maybe your parameters aren't that good. But there's my new Salvini I got, and I also got a Jewel, which I have not mentioned in a video. I have mentioned in my Facebook group. I just got them yesterday. They are a little skittish right now. But yeah, I got me a Jewel and a Salvini. But that's the video. That's how I do water changes. Thanks for watching, guys. Click to subscribe. Check out Aquarium Enthusiasts on Facebook. Check out Handy Aquatics and Jimmy H. Fishes group. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Take care out.